Salute, salute, salute. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Salutes to everybody, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are back. I'm your host, Key Norfolk. This is the Nation One Love podcast show. You all see the title of tonight's stream. The title of tonight's stream is, it's day 41 of the government shutdown. We had flight cancellations. We got talks of $2,000 stimulus checks from Donald Trump. What a surprise. Y'all know his mindset Monday. Salute. Make sure you support the stream. Please share the stream for us. Support the stream in any way possible is greatly appreciated. Now, we know it's day 41 of this government shutdown. There's been a lot of talks about the battle between the Democrats and the Republicans over their issues, which should put us in a reinstatement of the federal government. They're telling us that the government shut down. There's been so many events that's been happening over these past couple of weeks that has to do with the government shutdown. Um, you know, we've been affected by the SNAP benefits being cut short. There's been over 700 flights, um, different flights so far, supposedly, possibly more now, because there was earlier news today. So there's a lot happening right now with this situation. I even spoke to one of my friends I went to school with. He was telling me that, you know, he's out of work because of the government shutdown. So I asked him what he do. I told him, you know what, man, I'm out of work too because of the government shutdown. I asked him what he do. He said he worked for TSA. So I said, wow, to really be able to see the issues firsthand from what you see on the news is one thing. To hear about them is another. He asked me, he said, Key, what you do? So I told him, shit, man, I'm a commentary, I guess. And he said, a commentary, what's that? I said, well, man, shit, you heard of a secretary. A secretary keeps secrets for a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I comment on shit. And that's very ironic because I'm out of work and you out of work too. You out of work because of the government shutdown for the lack of having a job. I'm out of work because of the government shutdown for talking about it. So whether you for this establishment or whether you not for this establishment, the establishment don't have nothing for you. You could wear their jersey all day, like my brother Nasir say. You could wear a jersey all day. But what you will not be is a part of the team. Salutes to everybody. Now we're gonna get right to it, right? So I'm gonna put up our first article, right? Because Trump had the leisure of going to a football game. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm gonna actually check the chat. And I will be dropping the link. So we will have the opportunity to call in and give your thoughts and your perspectives on tonight's build. Excuse me. So our first our first article, right? Bear with me, good people. I appreciate y'all patience. So NFL fans give Trump an unmistakable reception when he appears at game. And there's a lot more to this game, people. When you do the numerology and the gematria on the numbers and the mascots of this game, it tells so much more of a story that we're not really being told. I remember last year there was a Philadelphia Eagles and a Redskins game. They play this game over and over, and it be the same two type of characters. Excuse me, but let's get to the article, shall we? Now this says the bottom story below the photograph for the article. President Trump attends an NFL football game between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions at Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland, Sunday night, November 9th, 2025. Now, President Trump appeared at a Washington Commanders game on Sunday, becoming the first president in nearly 50 years to attend a regular season football game. I mean, it just shows me more of how the world is a stage, how they playing a part, how he would go to the game. This was already. What do you think the response was gonna be? Well, let's get to it. He was booed loudly by some fans when he was shown on a screen late in the first half. And this is according to the Associated Press, but it was widely shown during the game. So we knew about this. It was presented to the people. It was projected to the people to get a response out of the people. See, they make you do something and then they use your actions for a response. You know what I'm saying? So now these boos continued while he read an oath for members of the military to recite as part of a ceremony during a break in the game. There were scattered cheers as well, according to The Guardian. A White House pool report called the reaction to Trump's appearance in a booth window a near deafening roar as people cheered, booed, and gave thumbs down or middle fingers and clap. Now, Trump spent about 10 minutes in the Fox broadcast booth during the game where he spoke about his high school football career and called some to action. Trump left the game before it ended. The Commanders lost to the Detroit Lions 44-22. Now, 44 is 8 in numerology, and 22 is 4 in numerology. But these numbers also have so much significant energy to it. The number 8 represents infinity. You know, the hourglass, the number 8 represents infinity. The number 4 represents a house or a body or a spirit. You know what I'm saying? So, and we'll get into that. I want to finish the article. Salute. So, the Washington area is heavily Democratic, and Sunday wasn't the first time Trump got a hostile reception at a sporting event there, according to The Guardian. When he appeared at the Washington National Stadium during 2019 World Series, he was greeted with chants of lock him up. So this is just giving me vibes that it's more of a ritualistic type thing. You know what I'm saying? And they're also getting the energy from the people that they're trying to get for whatever reason. Now, Trump became only the third president to attend an NFL game during the regular season while in office, according to AP. Richard Nixon was the first in 69, followed by Jimmy Carter in 78. Now, while all this is going on, I'm showing this for a reason because there's so many other things that's going on right now, right? So let me get to the flight cancellation. Shout out to everybody, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. And please share the stream for us. Y'all know we having a hard time with the algorithm. So if y'all can share the stream, that'll be great. Greatly appreciated. All right, let's get to some of the issues that we're having right now while Trump's getting booed at the football game. Now, okay, this says more than 2,300 flights canceled. as Senate passes deal. Flight disruptions across the United States were expected to rise through the week, even as the Senate passed a funding package to end the record-breaking government shutdown Monday night. By 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday, more than 8,700 flights within, into, or out of the United States has been canceled, has been delayed. Now, according to FlightAware, over 2,300 flights were canceled for the day. Now, about 5.5% of flights are affected, and more than 4% of cuts presently ordered by the Federal Aviation Administration to offset an air controller shortage, right? But they land people off and they saying they got an air controller shortage. They saying the government shut down. They saying they can't pay them. This is what I was saying about the SNAP benefits. They want to say, oh, we can't afford SNAP benefits this month. But why you can't afford SNAP benefits this month if you're not putting the SNAP benefits money there for that? You're not putting the money there for none of this that you saying you ain't got the money for. The money's already there. The people being taxed for the money. The people being taxed for the money, it's a big money grab. It's a big money grab. So now we're going to go to my next part. And I didn't want to move this fast because what I'm saying is it's a big money grab because Trump's going to use the money that he's grabbing so that he can use it for himself, so he can think selfishly of it. Well, I'm going to shut all these flights down. I'm going to cut all these positions. We're going to do all this to keep the SNAP benefits past the date because it's been money that's supposed to have been went out. So now that money ain't went out. Their money's up right now. So he gonna take it and give everybody $2,000 a piece to win more people over. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, man. Let me check the chat out. So this is crazy. It's been a lot going on, and it's kind of like a smack in the face. Let me check this chat out real quick. I always like to engage with the chat, so I'm gonna take my time to do that. Shout out to everybody. I'm going to check out the chat, and then I'm going to get to these $2,000 stimulus checks. Salute. Okay, let's get to these stimulus checks. Right. And I will share the stream in just a minute. I didn't get a chance to do that yet because I wanted to go into this little bit of information to show y'all my points and what made me come up with my conclusion. Right. Because it's a lot going on. When I saw Trump at the football game, and once I saw all that, you know, me with my eye open, with my third eye open, I can already tell what's taking place. But we got so many people who are sold on, you know, the games that's being played. You feel me? So the Trump tariff stimulus checks could fuel inflation, complicate Fed policy, as well, economists say. But I'm gonna say something about the Trump tariff stimulus because he put tariffs on everything. He put tariffs on the countries outside of the United States. He put tariffs on what was going on in the United States. That's what he did. That's his strategy. His strategy is to take the money from whoever else making money. He know how to go get money out of however they making money. Well, we gonna do this. It's basically go back to that old saying, I'm gonna rob Peter to pay Paul. That's an old saying. People forgot that. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. People don't say that no more. So people really don't understand that saying, and people really can't understand when they looking at it right in front of their eyes because people don't have that frame of thought no more. So many people praise Trump and love Trump, and Trump is just Trump's character. It's something going on, people, and it's something that we gotta realize. But a lot of people, out of the fear of saying, "What should we do?" First, feed yourself. What are you in fear of? You're in fear of not being able to go to the grocery store. You're in fear of not being able, we got it. So let's deal with the bare minimum. Let's deal with what we can deal with at the time. At least feed yourself, and the rent part, let's figure that out. Because I tell you something, if it really get crazy, ain't no landlord finna come to you trying to kick you out their house. Because if they leave their house, somebody finna rob their house. Like, they owe some money on some of their other property or even the house you in. So no matter how much money or what position nobody, yeah, I guarantee you, nobody's gonna be saying get out of my house until things calm down a little bit. So that ain't even gonna be the first thing a person gotta worry about. What you gotta worry about at first is being able to go like without toilet paper. Be like, hey, I'm gonna have to find an alternative. What if I can't get toilet paper? Or what if I can't get food? You know, can I survive off these potatoes I'm growing? Can I survive off of these canned goods that I got? Or this rice, or for a minute. That's gonna be my primary till I can grow some more stuff, or these salads, you know, or whatever I can trade for, or whatever I put in a mason jar to save. However, or whatever it is, what can I manage? That should be the thought. All right, let's get back to the article, right? So, President Donald Trump is proposing to send most Americans a payment of at least $2,000 a person from revenue raised by his terror program, according to his social media post. Now, that's fine and dandy, but I just don't see, right? Me with my logical mind, I don't see how he gonna be able to pay everybody $2,000. You just said that you couldn't even give people. I mean, well, people couldn't even get. Where is this coming from? What type of game you trying to play on me? So you can't give me the money that I was already getting, so I can get some food. But you gonna give me some more money in a whole nother form, you know what I'm saying? Scratch that, man. I'm gonna take care of that too later. Like, what type of game you trying to run on me? They just show how one hand's washing the other, and it ain't even the hands of the same body. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, the announcement came with a few details about how the administration would demonstrate the money. The announcement came with few details about how the administration would distribute the money, okay? Or whether it will be legal, as the Supreme Court weighs whether the emergency powers Trump invoked to collect the tariff revenue were constitutional. Why would he care if that's constitutional if he hasn't cared about anything else being constitutional? That's a play on words. That's them trying to trip you up. That's them telling you in so many words, subconsciously, they were saying, telling you Trump wouldn't do nothing unconstitutional. This is something that they planting in your mind because they asking you after the fact, why would he do something unconstitutional? So it's gonna make you think about it. You see what I'm saying? So while the proposal to send $2,000 stimulus checks to low and middle income Americans is politically shrewd, financially it is unrealistic, says William Dickens. That's the same thing I said, William. I was like, damn, Trump, to myself, and I had to think about if I could ask Trump this question. Damn, Trump, it ain't enough money for the snaps. Then Somebody donated the money for the military. And then now you're saying, wait, come on, man, you finna give us all $2,000, bro? That's crazy. Tariff revenues cover only a fraction of the roughly $660 billion price tag needed to cover the plan to pay more than 300 million citizens, he says. So think about this shit, right? How many trillions are we in debt? What are we, bro? $660 billion. That'll give everybody 2,000. All the lower class so-called people or whatever you want to call it, right? 660 billion. I'm not talking down on people getting their money, man. I want everybody to get it. I think people deserve it, all the shit we've been through just this past week. But what I'm saying is, logically thinking, if I'm gonna follow your script or the shit that if I'm gonna pick up the shit that you putting down, then it gotta look like it ain't gonna harm me if I pick it up, right? So this is crazy. Now, if the courts don't stop him, which they probably won't for a long time, by January they will have taken in about 1/3 of what Trump would need to make good on a proposal. Now, whether a fiscal stimulus would make a difference depends on how economists view the economy and on whether the money would be disturbed during a period of growth or recession, experts say. That's why a person who they consider with a third eye open is dangerous. They want somebody slow. They want you not to be thinking about no type of spiritual shit. They don't want you even on nothing. They just want you worry about your body and a little bit of your mind. 10% of your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's what they want a person at. They don't want you being able to compete with them mentally or spiritually. Even if they allow you to compete with them mentally, because they're like, damn, they becoming more aware. So I gotta not withhold the mental shit from them because that's what's making me tell them we equal. I'm saying, hey, you can go get an education too. You can go get a job too. You can go do this too. That's on a mental level. You can get a tattoo too. We can do up. You understand what I'm saying? That's on a physical level. But there's three parts: mental, physical, spiritual. Now, some economists warn that the stimulus checks could do more than harm than good, fueling inflation, complicating the U.S. Federal Reserve's plans to cut rates further, and signaling fiscal irresponsibility at a moment when the government is already coping with a burgeoning national debt crisis. That was a powerful paragraph because if that paragraph doesn't put you in the mind of we're gonna blame ourselves. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this money and people gonna spend it on what they want and not really buy up a bunch of stuff. Then a hard time gonna come and Trump gonna be able to say, man, I just gave you $2,000, man. What you do with the money? What you do with the money? Shout out to my brother P. Moses, salute. My brother JJ, the Enlightened One, salute. Yeah, man, because we got to think about it. Everything they doing has got to be strategic because it's too many strange things happening. It's so many strange things happening, man, that, you know, it's normal. the chaotic order of things being chaotic is normal. People are so desensitized to shit, bro, that we're not even picking up on what's taking place now. All these flights being canceled, the value of the dollar dropping. And then Trump's just gonna turn around and give us this money. So I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just pointing out the fact that it may possibly be a move, it be bad in a sense for them to use against us psychologically. Because to me, it seems like everything that's being done is being done psychologically. The physicalness of it, they really don't really care about. They just do that to string a person in. You understand what I'm saying? They do that so that you play the game. They dingle out something. There's no spiritual liberation. You got to sell out the spiritual to even get the physical liberation. That's what the boule is doing. That's what they get. They get to sell out their mind, body, soul. So mind and body, they want to be free with their mind and body. They sign off for a free pass on their mind and body. But they soul, they already pledged the elite. They get it up automatically. That's the deal. That's part of the deal. So I'm just looking at this thing on a level of spirituality because it's something missing. It's something missing when it comes to our people. And, I don't want to, really get into the demographics of race at this time because that's not what's important. What's important is our mental comprehension skills for us to be able to comprehend what's being put forth in front of us. That's why the American Negro is looked at the way he looked at because we kind of look soft in front of the whole world, and it's not because we soft. So that's why we missing this shit because we saying we ain't soft. I know we ain't soft. We ain't comprehending this shit right. We look soft. We getting brain banged. This was called shadow boxing, and we losing on that level. We losing the shadow boxing technique. This is mind control. They able to control us up through their higher selves. They just more in control of their higher selves, and they keeping us down low. They keeping us thinking about, man, I got a nice car, I got a pocket full of money, but you got to work all day for it, and you tired. Like that's cool, but don't get lost in the sauce. Don't receive so many treats to where you forget to bark at the intruder. That's what's taking place. That's why we in the position where we at. It's like Kanye said, slavery is a choice. So if slavery is a choice, they give you some that obviously we keep saying we cool with, or the majority of us. The majority, which is considered the collective consciousness of us, those who are selling their souls for mental and physical liberation. It's supposed to be mental, physical, and spiritual liberation. That's the Trinity. That's the real Trinity. That makes you complete. That makes you in touch with your higher self. But once you sell your soul or your higher self, you see how this works for physical things or for mental stability because they sold on the American dream, which is an ideal. It is a dream. It's just a nightmare. What kind of dream? Because they screwing you over, you can best believe that. But they graping you, but they telling you they love you at the same time. So that's what we missing out at. When it comes to all these things that's happening, these planes cancel, these flight cancellations. When it comes to nigga, when it comes to the food stamps, when it comes to these stimulus checks, all this is just a play on the mind. So once we able to at least let them know that, hey, we need to separate from those who are voting for us. Those who are voting for us represent us. And if these people are only concerned with the things that I'm telling you of, as far as mental and physical liberation, they not even thinking about the spiritual liberation. It ain't that they don't even know. A lot of our people who working with these government agencies and in these secret societies, they didn't go in that shit to say, I want to be a fucked up person and all this shit. They grew up the way they grew up and they figured out they had to do what they had to do to be able to help and provide for the family. They got it looking like that's the cool shit to do, to side with the enemy, to give up, give in. That's the only thing we can do. What else we gonna do? How we gonna get money to go to the store, Keith? How we gonna pay our bills? Like, so that's order out of chaos. It's a chaotic situation that you got to get comfortable with. That's what they want us. That's called being in survival mode. Staying down in your lower self, not being able to reach your fullest potential. Your creator mode, your God self. Because we selling out for a part of this system. You giving it up, but we trapped in this system. Obviously, we're dealing with parasites and vampires, energy vampires and parasites, because they know how to manipulate our energy to the frequencies that they need at that particular time, and then they know how to cipher, and they know how to do it again, and they know how to do it again, and they know how to do it again, and it's like we keep allowing them to. But now I'm gonna tell y'all why we allow them to, because we got some blind ass niggas making us blind. We got some Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles ass niggas who blind and who making us blind with the bullshit they get to say, because niggas are this person or in society. Are they able to get on these platforms and talk and say some shit that ain't gonna do nothing to help liberate nobody? So it ain't no substance to it. So we have to be in control of who we allow to represent us. Who do we allow to speak on our behalf? Because they're giving us people to represent us. They giving us people to speak on our behalf. That's what it means by when it says the revolution will not be televised, because the person who they put on TV is going to be their person. And we loving them because they on TV instead of loving them because they are a person. That's why we don't have a person. That's why we don't have a person. So, man, let me go over, right, and pull up this next article. Shout out to everybody. Make sure you hit that like button, family. Please like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. So now we have the article where they're telling us um, I'm gonna bring it up for y'all. We're gonna get right into it. I ain't gonna even tell you before we get to it. Salutes. Okay. Now, um, this is a article from CBS News. Okay, government shutdown, live updates, and Senate approves funding package, sending it to House. Now, what to know on day 41 of the government shutdown? The Senate late Monday approved a low assault funding package that would end the government shutdown, bringing Congress one step closer to ending an impasse that has gripped Washington for 41 days and sowed chaos across the country. Legislation on now heads to the House for approval. The bill's final passage in the Senate was all but guaranteed after a successful vote to advance it on Sunday evening, when 8 Democratic senators crossed the aisle. But the chamber worked Monday to come to an agreement to speed up the process before taking a series of votes to incorporate various elements of the deal into a single legislative package. Now, the final version of the bill extends government funding through January 2026. It also includes 3-year long funding bills for various federal agencies and programs, and reinstates federal workers who were laid off during the shutdown. In exchange for the 8 Democratic votes, Republicans agreed to hold a vote by mid-December on extending health care tax credits that have been central to Democrats' demand. The agreement angered many in the Democratic base who wanted health care addressed in the deal itself. Now, the bill will still need approval from the House and the signature of the president before the shutdown ends. House Speaker Mike Johnson said members should begin returning to Washington right now in anticipation of a vote later this week. And Thune said he expects the president to sign the legislation. And now here's my thing. You know, it's been brought to my attention too, also, like, why wait? So it really feel like, to me, it's all a bunch of mind games. Because if you're gonna give out the stimulus, then Trump, you should go ahead and give the stimulus out. Why is this still something that we talking about? Why is this still something that the people got on their minds? You understand what I'm saying? Now, by 9:28 p.m., the Senate approved package to end the shutdown. This was on yesterday. 60 to 40 vote, sending bill to the House. Now, the Senate approved the funding package in a 60 to 40 vote, with 8 members of the Democratic caucus joining. Republican in favor of the bill that would end the government shutdown. Okay. The vote came in. The vote came on day 41 of impasse after a deal was reached a day earlier, and 8 Democrats broke with their party to advance the measure through a key procedural hurdle. The bill now goes to the House for approval. The lower chamber, which hasn't voted since September 19th, is expected to reconvene as soon as Wednesday. Now, the issue that I thought that the Democrat and the Republicans was having, I thought they was having issues on healthcare. This is my whole thing. I thought they was having issues on healthcare. Now, whether the issues on healthcare were uh, for now, whether they were for immigrants or whatever that nature, I'm just saying, why does the conflict over the healthcare have to affect all the other things that they affected? Where is the connection to all of this? The only thing that I can see a connection to all of this is prophecy. These things was already told to happen. This was already in their plan. This is why they got the Project 25s, and this is part of their agenda. Or excuse me, I was muted, but that's part of their agenda. What I was saying, we can't really get caught up in what we're seeing in front of us. It's just like how we read the Bible. What we got to do is we got to figure out the allegory to the story. We got to get what they trying to comprehend. What's to be comprehended out of it. That's how events are happening. Just like there's an allegory to a story or a mysticism to it, a mythology or whatever you want to call it. The game is to be sold, not told. So we got to see what a person trying to say because ain't nothing being said straight up. Nothing that they're telling us is being said straight up. That's the point. That's the problem. And a lot of our people who decide to go out and vote for these parties and participate in politics, they genuinely trying to make a change for the people. Let me do something that's gonna help. But they don't really know. They thinking that every time something happen, it's a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's on purpose. They planning the things that happen. You can't tell these people that because the first thing these people will say, right? The first thing gonna come out of their mouth, they gonna say, why would they do that? That's what I'm telling you. So when a person say, why would they do that? Just like I said earlier, you should already know in their subconscious mind, they already programmed to know that this won't happen. I mean, we talking to people who think that the president is really in control of what's taking place on the face of this earth. Like there's not higher powers and principalities. People who got ancient souls and spirits, like, you know what I'm saying? Who can be in a body just like you, but you don't know this person obtains way more knowledge, the true knowledge. Niggas learn history and niggas want to debate each other. Like, who the smartest, you know? We should be able to build with each other. We should be able to come up with a conclusion with each other. That's the only way to even fight this system. Like all the talk about what's going on with the government, if a person ain't trying to grow some food or save some food or really just stock up to be ready for what's going on, but everybody can't do that. That's the trick too. It's so many people who know to do that right now. And I'm not talking down on them people. I'm one of them people, right? But it's not our fault. It's the way that things are going right now. Because if you do live a pretty decent life, so now that everybody's struggling across the country, of course there's some people that you love that you're gonna have to look out for. I don't know about you. I got grown children. I got 23-year-old child, 20-year-old child, 17-year-old child, 15-year-old child. You know, them still my babies. Just because they older or whatever, but you might have a child who ain't been on their own that long, you know, you don't know how they gonna be affected. It depends what their job is. Are they on any type of assistance? We gotta stop shaming people about the assistance because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Is everybody not gonna have a job at this? Everybody's never gonna have a job. This is why they automatically already took out everything to run the system. It's a system. They know it's gonna be old people. They know it's gonna be young people. You know, that's how they looking at it. They ain't looking at it if so we'll be like, man, that person need to work. Now, some cases that person do need to work. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we can't work because too psychologically, like people be going through things psychologically. It might have been about the type of people they was around their whole life. Or it could have been they could have experienced some type of trauma or, you know, we be dealing with a lot. We be dealing with a lot of scars, man. People don't like to have these conversations because it do something to them. It do something to me too, but when you master that part of yourself, you know, it be more of like a testimony. You be like, yeah, people be like, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Everybody going through something, but who understand what they going through at least. Then it's levels to this shit. Who will understand what they going through, who overstand what they going through. Now who understand what they going through. Everybody going through something. But it's like, how deep is your love? Shit. You remember that? So when we dealing with and when we talking about, the thing I don't like is when people talk about these type of issues, they be having an agenda and shit. It usually be like some racist shit or something. It usually be like somebody trying to show when it gets to these issues about the government, it's usually masking some type of racial agenda. Like a lot of so-called white people, and then shout out to my white people. I don't want to be because I got white people that I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta keep it real. I can't not be for real. A lot of white people would use this situation for a racial cover up. And then a lot of black people do it too. We got our what's the guy's name? It's a few guys, we know them in the community. I don't want to give them no shout out over here either. You know what I'm saying? They get on these platforms and all they do is talk about black people, but they not talking about them because they care. They talking about them because they want a white person to say, yeah, that's right. That's the shit you wanted to say, ain't it, white boy? I'm saying it for you, but he was like type shit. You feel what I'm saying? We got them kind of motherfuckers. If you say something, you should be saying it because you feel it. Say it with your chest. Talk to me from your heart. Don't talk to me from your conniving ass mind, cause niggas is evil. All skin folks ain't kinfolk. Everybody who the same color ain't even on the same page. A lot of these motherfuckers got white minds. I know white people that don't got white minds. I know white people who like, man, fuck the government. I know white people who like, man, fuck that racist ass white boy. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I know black people who like, hey man, damn, that was messed up. That was a white baby. I don't care if it was a white baby, it was a baby. What are you talking about? We gotta wake the fuck up, bro. The main issue is the mind state of the people. That's where the war going on at. The war going on, they say heaven is in the mind, the thought process. Everything creates in the mind. So if everything created in the mind and they keeping fear on our mind, damn, food stamps. We ain't supposed to be in no position to where we worry about no fucking food stamps. Man, if my grandma or somebody, my grandma's, my grandpa was alive, I wouldn't even be tripping. Cause it'd be so much food, you know what I'm saying? The little stuff they be doing, I would have been done by this time, me doing what I done did in the farming industry. I would have been able to link with them and have so much going on because they naturally do this. This is where I learned this from. This is where they passed me they green thumb. You know what I'm saying? They changing things, man. They reprogramming. That's all it is. They just changing the program. They changing the program. See, at one point in time, this is why I gotta smoke with this whole what a real nigga and street dude shit is because at one point you had dudes who was like, yo, I'm just growing up where I'm at, man, and I ain't no bad person, but I ain't, it's people who in certain situations that you can't really speak on if you don't really understand type of thing. And it's just like me. That's why I did the little commentary joke. I comment on shit, man. I'm a commentary. You know what a secretary is, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to OG Smackwater. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the bottom line is, man, we gotta really have people who speaking for us on these platforms. First of all, they gotta care, and then first they gotta care. But most importantly, they gotta care enough to be able to see further than you know what's gonna happen right now. You want a person driving your car who know how to get you to the destination. You could be driving your own car. If you know you don't know how to get there, and you know this other person who with you know how to get there, you either gonna shut everything else down and let them tell you how to get there, or you simply gonna get out and you gonna whatever gonna work best for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of mind frame we got to think of. And like thinking about somebody driving your car, your body is your car. You ain't your fucking body. You ain't the face. That's you. That's your body, but that's like your body get in the car. You what came into their body. You the consciousness that was in the that developed in the body. Your name ain't fucking Dante. Your name ain't Steve. Your name ain't Robert. Your name ain't Kenneth. Your name ain't James, Leonard, Joseph. That's your name, but that's not who you are. That's your name. I gotta correct myself when I'm wrong. That's your name, but that's not who you are. I'm not Key. My name Key. They start calling me Key when I came here. I'm me. My energy, my frequency, how I operate. How I won't change that tune for nothing. Because once you start to change that tune, then you start to change to the social structure around you. It's like a sheet of music. Do you want your sheet of music to sound and look like London Bridge is falling down, or do you want your own authentic sheet of music? We a beautiful song, man. Salute my brother JJ. Salute Bun Hall. Salute. Salute to everybody, man. We a beautiful sheet of music, and we have to be able to sing our song. If we can't sing our song, then our soul don't get its proper experience. That's a part of having free will. You let a motherfucker make you a slave and then convince you that you ain't a slave. What type of sense do that make? You let a motherfucker turn you into a slave and then convince you that you not a slave. So the whole time you a slave, you ain't trying to not be no slave. You doing other shit. Really wasting time. You understand what I'm saying? Really wasting time. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You know, man, I really wanted to chop it up on this government shutdown situation because it seems like it's more than what it really is. But we got so many people who have this. It's the battle of Armageddon is the mindset. The battle having happening in heaven, like I said in the scripture, when it say you're gonna receive the mark on your hand and you're gonna receive the mark in your head. Well, in your hand, your cell phone, you use your hand to write signatures, the shit you sign off on. Then they got a thing to where they putting a chip in people's hand right now, right? So in your head, it's a thought that's in your head, policies, following policy. What's gonna keep the policy in place? The pole ice, the police. This is why all these things is happening. This is why Trump is coming out and he breaking the laws of the Constitution. He doing what he want to do, but he also using the people to give him the authority to do it because he making the people cool with it. What the people gonna say now after the food stamps come back on and after Trump give everybody $2,000? They gonna say, "Man, see, y'all was talking bad about Trump, man, and he came through for us. He came through for us to trick us, to get us to come through for us. Now he gonna lead us to the next situation. It's a game. This shit ain't straight up. But we got those amongst us. We got the fucking blind leading the blind, and we got people who out there that's just trying to get a bag, and that's all it's about. Let me tell the people about some shit that's good for them to hear, but not let me not really be down or do no real shit for and with the people. So then you gotta ask yourself, you gotta say, damn, well, do I wanna let the nigga catch me? Or do I wanna let the white boy catch me? Who I wanna let catch me? You know what I'm saying? Shout out my brother JJ. He said they create the mind control to divide and conquer. Yeah, that's right. And that's where the war Armageddon is happening in the mind. And it's happening between the people who are with the policies and hopes for a brighter future and the people who are against the policies and hopes for a brighter future, because on that end of the game, they know that, hey, the only way for me to get a brighter future is I try to detach because they ain't got enough for me. It's like they driving me along and they hanging me out the car type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I got my own people who I gotta, because we having an identity crisis. And that's understandable, that's cool. But at some point we got to be able to deal with reality. What is reality? We got to be able to deal with the reality of the situation. We just can't keep going along saying what we think or what this token Negro said. Because this token Negro has already sold his soul. He don't want uh spiritual liberation. He said, man, in this life, all you need is spiritual liberation and physical liberation. Nigga, all you need to do is be able to go to school and get an education. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Pulling yourself up by your bootstraps only pull you closer to your fucking cap. Where they smashing you in because you're not able to experience the true Trinity. You're not able to experience what God wanted you to experience. You ain't able to have free will of your mind, free will of your body, and free will of your soul. Shout out to my brother Big Dog Philly OG. Like a OG once told me, it was a motherfucker talking to him, and they say, "Yeah, man, man, we free now." He said, "You free to do what? You free to get to buy some houses and shit, make some money, and mess with some women, drive some cars, and get on TV, have a fat bank account. You free to do that. You can't go no fucking where. Try to go somewhere. You gotta go through some shit to go somewhere. And then when you go somewhere, you got a certain amount of time. You gotta come back. This shit ain't free like what you think. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. I just didn't drop the link because too, I'm gonna say this while I'm talking on some real shit. When we speaking about mind frames, a lot of people don't be liking this truth. A lot of people be coming up on the platform to try to say little slick shit. Sometimes I be catching all this shit. I'm just a better person, bro. Like really. And then if you say some shit and you can't be straight up enough to tell me that you talking to me, then I ain't respecting that shit anyway. Like, I'm gonna treat you like a little kid. I'm just gonna ignore you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you about this shit I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody, man. Much love and respect. My brother T Cortez, salute. Von Hall, Big Dog, Philly OG, JJ, salute. Yeah, P Moses, salute. Man, because we got individuals today. And then see right now what they got, like my bro Keith, shout out to Keith Pugh, man. That was a dope show. Last show, we gonna do more bills, bro. But my brother Keith was saying that they have a social system set up over there, basically, like they already attacking your funds, you know, because of your belief system and your social status, or you could be a felon, or that's dangerous shit right there. That's where we can kind of get into some enemy of the state type situations. This is what we need to be preparing ourselves for. This is what we should have been preparing ourselves for when we had most of our people saying, yeah, bring the troops in. See, they was looking for one thing and got another, because it's never for them. They think somebody care about them who don't care about them. My brother T Riggle, salute. You know, I just gotta keep it real. I can't see, I don't care who don't like the truth I'm saying. And maybe that's why I'm going through this lonely state right now. Cause I can't tolerate bullshit. People want me to be around them, and people want me to see shit, bullshit. They want me to hear bullshit. And then they get mad at me when I be like, nah, man, what the hell is this? Hey, you can't do that. Hey, why you doing that? Ah, nah, man, that ain't cool. But everybody go along and get along now. Motherfuckers want you to fake it till you make it. Motherfuckers feel like if you ain't faking it till you make it, you ain't grown. People will tell you you ain't grown if you don't let nobody fuck you in your ass, man. If you don't just bow down all the time, you ain't grown. You let people use you, you ain't grown. You ain't grown. Grown people let people get over on them and shit. Basically, like, you know what I'm saying? A real attack on masculinity. You ain't no good man if you don't just take a bunch of shit. Like, you know, that's why we in the state we in now. We need our men, we need our strong brothers who still got their mind, brothers who can still think, brothers who can still comprehend and process things to all work together. Some of them gonna be the protection, some of them gonna be the investors, some of them gonna be the healers, some of them gonna be the mechanics. But everybody just gotta be able to be comfortable so they can just fall in their position. We talking about dealing with the government. People gonna have to put their shit to the side in a minute. See, they tricked us and shit. We got fathers and mothers and shit who been tricked and fall under the ideology of the perception of the world today and breaking up households and shit. See, we gonna have to put this shit to the side. We gonna have to realize, like, damn, man, this government, hell nah. Hey, man, where my kids at? Hey, baby, shit, fuck these hoes. You know what I'm saying? Or shit, I don't know what we was thinking about. See, people get mad at me because they call me and they say, man, so and so ain't acting right, man. I'm finna move on. What you think I should do? I be like, shit. Even if it's my homeboy, I know a lot of women tell they homegirl like, yeah, leave them. You don't need them. But see, me, I be like, even if it's my homegirl or my homeboy, I be like, shit, y'all should work it out. Y'all should work it out. That's what's gonna make you strong. Your family structure. That's love. And that's get back to my point, the blind leading the blind. We got blind people who can't even fucking see trying to tell us where to go. They making us blind and our eyes open. This is the paradoxes of this shit. This is why this shit so contradictory. Niggas who done sold out. Well, long as I got my mind and my body, I'm cool. This fool don't want control of his motherfucking soul. He done already gave control of his soul up. Keith, why you keep saying he gave control of his soul up? Because he took upon his soul, he put the imprint on his soul of their ideology on his motherfucking soul. This is why this nigga's got a white mind. So I don't give a fuck how black his skin is. How hood he can talk. You either with them or you with us. Ain't no in between. They got a lot of our people sold out on. Look, divided they united y'all stand, but divided y'all fall. So when a lot of people put their time and their effort into working the shit out themselves and kissing a bunch of ass, they develop what's called black fatigue. Y'all remember us talking about that thing called black fatigue? It's a real thing. It's a real issue. Black fatigue is not a um myth or a mystery. Black fatigue is real. These people develop black fatigue because they say we still got a class of black people who not going along with the program. Shit, I get up, nigga. I bust my ass every day. I kiss a bunch of ass. I'm pushing for this establishment. Let me drop this link, man. Yeah, I got a little minute, man. I want to drop the link, man. Come up, bro. Get with me. My bad. I've been like tied up today, y'all. I was thinking on this, and you know what? I was gonna do this I had an outline to this, but y'all know I just like to talk to y'all sometime. I'm actually just sitting down, just talking to y'all, having a conversation with y'all, man. Shout out to everybody. Much love and respect. I'm gonna drop the link. Yeah, come up and chop it up. If we can still talk about the government shutdown or whatever, man, because I'm in this day and time, man. As long as it's substance to the conversation, I don't have no issue with having no conversation with anybody, man. So any healthy conversation is a plus for me. You know, I can learn something by listening to the next person. I learn something every time. Even if it's something bad I still learn something. You know, a lot of people gonna have to put their pride to the side because this government shutdown, you either gonna be have your people who with you or you're gonna be by yourself. And you don't wanna be by yourself dealing with this government. See, dudes ain't real enough for that. See, I want to raise my son like, look, hey, be real with that girl. You dealing with some girl, she might have some kids by another dude or something, or be with another dude. If y'all just messing around or whatever, keep it real with her. Let her know what it is. But hey, you need to be with your dude type of shit. You don't gotta sleep with every woman you see. Like, then that just you giving your energy up, and then you worried about somebody else playing with your energy, but you playing with your own energy. It's a lot of that shit going on too. I'm just here to make y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting some things on your mind. Shout out to everybody, man. You know, because if they're just doing a test run, we can't forget. We soon to forget. We forget quick. You know what I'm saying? We forget quick. As soon as Trump dropped his stimulus check, everybody gonna forget. Oh yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man. I did drop the link. And yeah, let me change this thing right here so I can make sure we don't get porn bombed. Yeah, man. You know, that's the kind of shit that be on my mind. I be thinking, man, like a lot of people, right, that I talk to, are like it's normal for people to even we got family and shit, but I remember my grandma, man, and shit like that, right? Nigga, my family used to be tight. And so my mom was like that person who my grandma was because it's not because of what she got. Like my mom a hard working lady. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't about what she got. It's about her heart. It's about like, see, now we so used to looking at people like, and the shit crazy right now. Like you could lose your job for you probably lose your food stamps. That's gonna fuck you over right there. Because like some people got 4 kids or some shit in the house. So they might get like 900 in food stamps. But 900 in food stamps don't last you but really 3 weeks with 4 or more people in the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving some light numbers. So think about how much money people gonna have to spend and then think about what Trump doing. See, I don't gotta think about it. I know because I know who these people are spiritually. See, we get tricked, right? We get tricked to thinking like, you know, these people are using our energy. So we got to take our energy back from them. No, they're using their fucking energy. Their energy is the lower, dark, heavier energy. Like my brother T. Rickle said, man, you don't use fire to fight a fucking fire. You got to use water. Shout out to my brother T. Riggles, man. Welcome to the bill. Salute, good brother.
Man, salutes, Key, man. Great information, man. We needed to, I know I needed to hear that, because I'm not too informed sometimes. You got to take a break sometimes from this social media. You know what I mean? So, yeah, good talk, man.
Yeah, that social media, man, they want everybody on there, but they only want you on there so they can keep configuring you. They gonna configure you until they figure you. You know what I'm saying? They gotta configure you until they don't need you no more. See, they want to write us into their program. That's their whole thing. This life and shit, they like, fuck this shit. This like a house. They came to trash this bitch. They came to trash this bitch and leave. They trying to make them a ride to get them up out of here, which is gonna be the metaverse. They tricking people saying we finna go in the sky, we finna go to the moon and all that. Nah, they just need a place to store the consciousness. Once they can be in control of, cause what people call God or the creator or the divine, that's who stores all the consciousness in this. Now you could come up with all type of stories you want to say who that is or whatever, but it's higher than me, and I don't want to fucking have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
ain't finna ride with no niggas who trying to go against that. You see what I'm saying? That's what we dealing with.
yeah, that's facts. That's what we're dealing with. And the programming is getting heavier. They're turning up the juice, and this is why, you know, learning how my subconscious works. I remember back in the days where I would fall asleep while watching TV. And that's something that, we shouldn't do at all because you're getting programmed while you pass out and that light is still going through. So, that's something that we can all focus on, not passing out with that TV on or computer while it's going. You know what I'm saying? So you're not getting programmed.
That's a fact, man. You know, we gotta program our own reality. Shout out to my sister Bun Hall. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta program our own reality. Like, man, life be so for real sometimes. Like, we was having a Bible discussion, and then in the midst of the Bible discussion, I was like, damn. See, I look at it like the story, what the story get to. Not really that it ain't, I don't think it happened. I think it happens. So what I mean by that is I think take this story. So when this come up in your life, then you do what this story do. Don't you live your fucking life. You got your wife, you making babies, you getting up, you going to work today, every day because these motherfuckers done came in and these motherfuckers done took control of us. They done took control of our soul. You got niggas when we say a nigga sell his soul, this nigga saying, I just want control of my mind and my body. He ain't thinking about no soul or what a soul is or none of this shit. He said, you everything's a three-body problem. Protons, neutrons, electrons on any organism that's or anything that's alive. So you got three parts to it. It take three parts. This is come from the ether. This is ethereal matter. What I'm talking about that make things that's living. It gotta consist of ethereal matter or natural plasma. What plasma is? We talking liquid light and light in some type of liquid. That's through the dimensions of what it is. Once it starts to transform, we got blood that bleed over from the non-physical to the physical. So that's why I wanted to do the last show that we did, the unseen world and our reality. My bad. Shout out to the brother OG Philly. Salute to the OG Philly, man. Salute.
Salute to the champ. And my bad.
Salute everybody. Grand Rising. I was in the music. Let me get out of the music. Much love and respect to my nigga T Virgil, and everybody in the chat, man. Just tapping in. Power to the motherfucking people, flat motherfucking power. Y'all got it. I'm listening. I'll tap back in.
All day, all day. And my bad too, man. Shout outs to the chat. I I don't know why I gotta remember that's the first thing I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Without y'all, there is no me. You feel me? And salute to all of you, man. Much love, man. Thanks for tuning in and listening in.
Hey man, did you see all them planes and shit, man? There was all them people that was in the airport and shit. Y'all know I ain't
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
that
no
was
audio, but
wild.
I'm gonna send you the
That was
video.
wild. Was that in Atlanta and Houston, right?
You know what? I ain't even sure where it was at, man. Cause I just really, when I heard about the stimulus checks, that was last night. And then, like, as I slept, I kind of put all this shit together in my head. And then I saw today they were saying the government shutdown could be over, this and that. So I kind of put this whole shit together in my head to where I came up with a conclusion that because I've been saying that Trump is gonna cause a bunch of problems so he can try to be the hero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what he seemed like he doing to me. But then, as you talk to people who are Trump supporters or, because our people think that they can make a difference on the ground. But see, when your head cut off, your body ain't gonna live for so long. But they just worry about their body and their head cut off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you always gonna be connected to that federal government. So if you don't got see one state break away from think about it, 51 states go against one state. Man, whoever that governor is, man, he finna get them people keep murdered. He finna get them people hurt.
Mm, yeah.
So that ain't the smart thing to do. Now, what you think about the flights and the $2,000 checks or the SNAP, whatever you want to comment on, man. What's your thoughts?
I mean the $2,000, those checks he's gonna issue, Trump's gonna issue out. Man, that's gonna help the people a whole lot, and if that's going to make Trump look like the hero, all right, so be it. I don't mind it one bit. I'm still waiting on the stimulus checks from 2019. I didn't get one, man. Like, somebody help a brother out.
Yeah, you got to be racked up, man, because you about to get, all your back money, man. Nah, Trump, he do this, man, and it's like I get it. I can deal with it because I don't expect what everybody else is expecting. You know, we got a lot of people who live in, and you know, you'll get backlash. People will be like, you know, man, I work hard, like, you know, and that's the pain or the fuel that drives people to really go against their own people. That's where this black fatigue thing come from. Because you got so-called black people going against who they call it niggas. You know what I'm saying? The people who like, well, damn, I'm tired of this shit. And the so-called black people are saying, man, we trying to merge with the machine, man. You know, we trying to get with the government, man. We trying to ride with Trump them. They got us in a good position. How do you feel about that?
At this point, to each his own. You know, you're so-called in the land of the free, so you have you can choose whatever you feel that is best for you, you know, and your family. But make sure that it's a very thoughtful and a wise decision that you're going to make. Just like the what happened, you know, during the pandemic. You know, you got to be wise now to make these choices. You know, you got to be informed. So for me, you know, I'm going the sovereign approach. You know, I'm gonna put everything on me. You know, like I want to basically govern myself. So I know I can do that, and I trust myself. So that would be the choice I would make. You know, provide for my own and help provide for others. You know, that's that would be a perfect ideal life for me.
Yeah, man, because you know, at least if you could just eat, you know what I'm saying? If you could just eat, because like I said, I even thought about it, even when it comes to people in rent houses and shit like that. If it really go down, you know, your landlord ain't about to be really showing up trying to put you out, especially if he got a lot of houses, man. He not finna get to you really. That's not the first thing you're gonna have to think about because he got to think about the shit that he's staying in, that he paying for, that somebody gonna be trying to put him out. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? This shit be different than what y'all think. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just thinking about, you know, you got to watch the money. You know, you want to know what's controlling the situation, you got to follow the money. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't gonna even be an issue. One of our main issues is going to the grocery store or thinking that we gotta have toilet paper. Okay, you gotta find something else. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you can stock up on that shit, that's cool. Everybody else ain't gonna be able to. Or if you know how to make it and shit, that's cool. But you know what I'm saying? Just realistic type of thoughts. You feel what I'm saying? Lotion, things like that. You know, we're gonna have to start go back natural. So that's what's called go back in the wilderness. Going back in the wilderness is you getting some berries and shit, you know, making some lotion out of some berries and shit, a little bit of mud in there, you know what I'm saying, and shit, a little bit of water and, you know, put some oil in there, some, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It ain't Johnson baby lotion, you know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah, that
feel
ain't
me?
gonna work. No, no, I don't trust them.
Right. We shouldn't be trusting them anyway, because this shit ain't doing nothing but allegedly putting a bunch of cancer inside of a motherfucker anyway.
Right. Yeah, but that's lotion with berries and mud, huh? I never thought about the
It
mud.
sound good, man. You know, this shit sound good.
the,
You know
the
what I'm
mud gonna
saying?
add
Yeah.
texture to the berry juice.
Yeah. You know when the mud be doing all type of exfoliating and shit. You know, that's what my anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, man, it's just you know, we get a lot of people who talk about these issues when it comes to like government shutdown and stuff like that, man. And then a lot of times I don't think it's not about giving a solution. But you know, when you don't know what to do, don't do nothing sometimes. So sometimes just saying the wrong thing to do can be the issue. And that's what I'm pointing out. And, you know, because like I always say, the conscious community has been infiltrated because at one point of a time, we was able to be on point to know, hey man, when is martial law going to be in place? When do we need to start doing this? Or when do we need to start doing that? You know, and once these parties were infiltrated, like the Black Panther Party, you know, a lot of people say that the Islamic organizations and shit like that was infiltrated. You understand what I'm saying? So once we start going through all these ghetto informant program situations and shit with our people to where we were having to deal with what's called COINTELPRO. I'm gonna say COINTELPRO. I know the word, you know, I'm gonna say COINTELPRO. But you know, once we start dealing with that with the people who was coming and being a detriment to our progression, should I say. You know what I'm saying? Because we already down. So if we're getting sold an idea that we're gonna come up when it's just keep putting us further down, then that's the issue that we dealing with. It's like we keep bumping our head and we not learning enough from it. That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's something that you know, Dick Gregory said, once you put these glasses on, you know, one, you can't take them off, and two, you can't make people see what you see. And I really understood what that meant as a whole. So I would say to everyone, you know, just focus on you for a minute, because there's so much distractions going on. We got Dick Cheney passing away. We got the 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 Muslim dude winning in New York. Look, there's that the Muslim dude in New York said that he wants to make prostitution legal at any age. I said, okay, listen, man. Look, we all know that's wrong. So you're advocating children trafficking on the streets basically and then making it legal to prostitute. Yeah, like there's so much going on, right? The things that we can control is ourselves, to make sure you're in a good vibration. You know what I mean? Try to not have all too many distractions bother you. You know what I mean? Stay high vibing, take care of your families, raise your children the best as you can, and that's all we can do until, you know, other pieces are made or moved when they move. So yeah, that's what I would say to everything.
And you know what's really making that is I mean man, really though, like we just gotta be able, like I said at first, we gotta be able to, because I don't really want to get into the semantics, and not what you saying, but just me personally. I'm saying we need to be able to the food shit, but it's like a lot of things that people eat, bro, is what they want to eat. Like we spend a lot of money on food, and it's not to be saying that while we need the money that we need for the shit, but you know, it's a lot of food that's wasted. So if we can do something even simple as just tighten up on how we deal with food, that would help us a lot too. What's your thoughts on that?
Ah man, that's we can talk till we're blue in the face, just as Dr. Sabi would speak till it's blue in the face. It's not until that person comes to grip, with the concept you are what you eat, and the food that you eating, you got to look at it on a pH balance scale, and so with Dr. Sabi's information that was is out here, you know, it's hard for me to tell people, you know, watch what you eating. You should already know right now that, McDonald's meat. Oh my God. Some people that say that's human meat. Some of the fast food joints, do you know what I mean, don't even have real meat. They've got nutria, and nutria is like a swamp rat. Do you know what I mean? Some of us have been eating rat stomach and muscles, but so, I don't like to control people or tell people what to do, just as you're doing right now. We're just informing. And so with the informing of the food, you got to be careful out here. And I like.
Yeah, you definitely got to be careful out here. Um, when it comes to the food and shit, but it's always good to be, knowledgeable of your diet. You know what I mean? To the best of your ability. That's what I like to say with everything. To the
Yeah.
best of your ability, because you never know. Um, you could think you being healthy, or you could think what you receiving is healthy, but it cannot be healthy. So we just got to do that health thing to the best of our ability.
Facts. I mean, all that.
And Keith, let me tap
Uh-huh.
in on that. Like,
Yeah.
y'all brothers going in, man. Health is wealth. They don't say that no more. You know what I mean? I tell people, I ain't no doctor. I learned about preventive medicine or preventive health care or preventive, so that way. And that's what I've been working on all my life, staying healthy. If you're eating 3 meals a day and you obese, take it down to two. Gradually, wean yourself off of, those 3 meals a day, then down to two, then down to one. If you got a problem with sweets, cut back on it. Gradually cut back. You know what I mean? Because that they don't tell us that no more, man. Health is wealth. You know what I mean? And
Right.
they're poisoning everything. I'm gonna say moderation. Eat in moderation. Don't eat to get full. Eating is mental. You know what I mean? You could train yourself to eat the minimum and still have the energy that you need, man. Just eat in moderation, man. And health is wealth. That's all I want to say. Y'all brothers going in. Y'all got it.
Yeah, absolutely right, OG. I mean, absolutely right. Health is wealth, and what are the three deadly poisons that you have to watch out for? What is that? Sugar, salt, flour. Right. So if you can minimize those intakes, which is going to be difficult, but it can be done. And another thing that you can monitor to see if you are eating right or not eating right. Right. Your body will always tell you when you go to the bathroom, y'all. Okay. Right. And you take in your doo doo. Okay. You take in your doo doo, and then now what you do is you look at the doo doo in the toilet. Now, if your doo doo goes to the bottom of the bowl, okay, look, you haven't ate too well. You haven't, you ate really heavy, okay. But if your doo doo, okay, if your doo doo floats on the water, okay, it's floating on the water. Now you ate good. See, so the body's telling you, what's good and what's bad for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So, monitor your do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They're not really that now. It's a lot of health stuff promoted, but a lot of the health stuff that promoted is artificial health things. They got a lot of creams, and they got a lot of um mixtures, powders and stuff like that, protein and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And they're promoting this look good on the outside lifestyle rather than being actually truly healthy on the inside. And that's gonna come with the herbs, and that's gonna come with the fruits and the vegetables and the exercise. What y'all think about that? The difference between this cosmetic health lifestyle and a true natural health lifestyle.
Well, look what I just saw. Uh, there's sun tanning, uh, darkening your skin liquid now. That you got to do is squeeze it in the water and then you drink it. And I seen these Caucasians doing this. I said, "Wow, they getting darker now with the drops of the liquid." But is that safe? Is that safe for everyone? I don't know. I have no clue. But I'm sorry, I just had to get that off of my chest real quick. That they've got tanning, uh, sun tanning lotion that makes people get darker in liquid. You drink it with the water. I thought that was, and I don't know how this works. I don't know where they're getting this from. I need to do a little bit more research on it, right? But that was something that I saw. And when it comes down to herbs and all of that, yes, herbs is going to heal the nation.
Now I'm gonna speak on that suntan and lotion shit. I think that's like a distraction, not from you or nothing like that. I think they put that to like distract us. I think they promoted it to distract us. I think that
Mhm.
it probably was made how it was made and shit, but I don't think. I mean, I don't think they can really hurt us or nothing. You know, them putting on lotion, getting dark or looking dark. You know, if I seen a white person who was, I don't know, this is just me who had some dark skin on, and I was around them, I could tell they was a white person. That's just how my mind work, man. My
Mm.
bad.
No, I was even when I was looking at the white ladies drinking it, and then I started to look at my skin. And I said, maybe I need to get a little bit more darker out here. And you know what I mean? I said, maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Man, so you wanted to drink some of this shit?
I was thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I like being a little dark, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with being darker, you know what I mean? What did they say? You know, the black of the berry, okay? Okay.
Hey, look, the chick was like, "Hey, you ever tried it like this?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Nah, shit, let's get it." Nah, fuck with it.
Oh man. The stuff
Yeah,
that's coming out, y'all. Everybody
yeah.
just be safe, man. Be safe, y'all. Be
Be
wise.
safe, man,
You know what
because
I'm saying?
listen, no girl shot that monkey, right? So y'all ain't gotta worry about that monkey. But what you do gotta worry about is, man, you know, I saw in a post the other day, a dude made a post. He said, man, HIV is normal for everybody. And I was like, bullshit. It
Well,
ain't
shit.
normal for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that. You know, that's
You know,
no, that's not normal. How's that normal?
yeah, you know, it's just a lot because, you know, they coming out with other um things to where, because I'm trying to be careful how I'm saying this so I don't
Yeah.
have to say a bunch of unnecessary stuff. I'm just gonna word it right. They're coming out with so many different things, right? That the things of old is like, oh, you got that? Yeah, everybody got that now. You know how some people be saying that, like, everybody got herpes, like everybody got had chicken pox. And you like, nah, this ain't, even if you can say it's the same thing, it's not the same thing, bro. It's not. Nah, one thing be fucked up somewhere and one thing be fucked up somewhere else.
Yeah. And
Yeah, man.
y-
Yeah,
you know
what
what
you
I
think?
saw? You know what I saw, Key? You know what I saw too, Key? I
Yeah.
saw I try not to scroll that much. You know what I mean? That has an effect too, y'all. When y'all scrolling for a long period of time, you're releasing that dopamine in your mind. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna scroll, but this thing came up, and the little Latin girl, she wanted to reduce her BBL, right?
Nah.
And as she, or because something was wrong, like she couldn't walk, like her back or something. And she showed the clip of her going to the hospital. She
I'm
cried.
saying.
Huh?
She must got an extra large and she must be little.
It didn't even look big.
He said it didn't even look
It didn't
big.
even look big, but it was just like she was crying. Then she got to the hospital. She crying, laying down, and then whatever the hell was going on, she was screaming. She's and I was just, they weren't showing it right,
I'm gonna
too
tell
much
you right
detail,
now, man.
but
I
all you can
don't trust.
see was the friend holding her hand, like, and she screaming
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I can see
and I
it. I
said,
can see it
"Wow,
happening. See it happening. I don't trust no chick with a BBL. I can't trust her.
you,
I ain't talking down on you. You know, hey, much love to you, but I can't trust you. No chick with a BBL. Because
yeah."
she ain't get the BBL to just, boy, she a virgin all over again once she get that BBL. You know that, right?
You think she a virgin? And when she get a BBL,
How man she is. She ain't got no miles on that body yet. It's brand new.
it's brand new.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, she got a brand new booty, and nobody touched that. You can say that. That could be a
Right.
very good question.
Booty. That's a brand new body. And
It's a
then she
brand
gonna
new.
say, mm, oh
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. She gonna say, shit, I'm a virgin. I gotta test this. You gotta know that when she get a new body, this a whole because it's already two different people. It's already a person with one personality. Now they getting another body, and they got a whole nother personality. So they gotta try to fit this personality in this body. Their body don't fit. Their personality don't fit in their body.
Would you would you say if they had, how women get the BBLs, like say they come up with male 8 packs.
You
You
said
take the shot, and then all of a
eight
sudden, in 2 weeks, man, you ain't did no sit-ups, no nothing, and then you get an 8 pack. Yeah, you know how many people are gonna take that shot, brother?
dudes. You talking about the dude?
Yeah, if a dude, you know what I'm saying, you get 2 shots, one on the left, one on the right, and then in a week later, an 8 pack appears, bulging.
Nah, that's some freaky shit, man. You got some. That's some freaky shit
That's
right there,
wild
man.
shit.
I don't
Uh,
want that shit like that. I'd rather, boy, I'm gonna do some sit ups. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go old school.
I
Sit-ups,
do that shit
you know,
anyway. You know what I'm saying?
get it.
I ain't trying to, but that's what I'm saying. That's what's like. So when you talk about shit like that, then you got people who like, nah, man, you going against just cheating.
Yeah, you cheating.
You know what I'm saying? You going against cheating. So if you going against cheating, cheating is the new way. So you going against cheating, nah, you a threat. Cause shit, I'm tired. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Shit. This what I'm working for. But
And
when we talk about mothers and shit, now what mother? Now, hey, if you a millionaire man and you about to pay 15,000 for ass and shit, well, if you got like 300,000, 400,000 or something, you really get your money and shit. But most women who get these BBLs, they just like regular women and shit. And they'll be having a BBL but be living in like a Section 8 apartment type of shit. Like they saving their income tax to get an ass. So
yeah,
basically, this chick's basically got a new ass and lost her motherfucking mind.
yeah, yeah,
Basically.
yeah. I think you were right when you were speaking about this before when we was like, if a girl gets a BBL, we all know it's fake. Can she be in a real relationship?
Well, in her mind, this is what I'm telling you. Listen, and this only if she's had like multiple people anyway. So if
Mm.
she already get down with multiple people in her old body, then she get a new body, then yeah, she finna try that. Then she still got other people who want some. You gotta think. all the men that she probably keep in touch with, they like, shit, man, she looking good now. You know what I'm saying? How many
Yeah,
baby daddies she got? They gonna want to hit.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah. I even
I
think
just- yeah.
what's her name? What's Charlie Kirk's wife? She's even losing weight now, and I heard
Man,
that.
you think Charlie Kirk White gotta be here? I don't
No,
know. She
look, I don't know. I don't
saying,
know. I don't know. But all I know is she getting action right now. You know what I'm saying? I heard JD Vance tapping that so soon. Woo!
I don't know, man. He tapping it. She fucking somebody. You know what I'm
Yeah, oh
saying?
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
And
So
that's
I would,
politics. That's politics right there, boy. Someone's
yeah.
always getting screwed over.
He says, yeah. Yeah, I know Trump was kissing on the thing or whatever. You know, it's just all a big show to me,
Oh
man.
yeah,
You know, I really don't.
you know
I
Trump.
just be trying to see, what type of mental state when it come down, because that's why I can meet in the middle with the people on the mental state. Just like the gathering of the minds.
Mm,
Now you gonna go down to, you satisfied with just your mind and your body, or do you want to come up to the soul? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's the part of yourself that you need back. That's the part of yourself that you opting out for. Like, they like shit. We got all this soul shit under control. We can tell you about the planets and shit. We ain't gonna tell you these planets is really gods and universes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm,
so we just gonna trick y'all and tell y'all some bullshit. Give y'all this uh elementary ass solar system shit and get y'all to start believing this because you read it in the book. We taught you this shit in school. So now you going against the people who coming to tell you, nah, man, this shit bullshit, man. Like they tricking us. But those the people who get ridiculed. Those the people who, man, this story that we was talking about. So they left him on the courtyard. What was that shit you said they got him out of, bro?
Oh, Jeremiah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, oh,
It
got
was
him out of the cistern. It's
consistent.
either a underground water storage or toilet sewage drain thing. It's crazy.
Right. And left him on the courtyard. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's what's basically happening too. Like we gotta really like pay attention to, what we really doing, because we really okayed a lot of shit. We really okay. The government came in so smooth. They was coming in anyway. So they created a situation to make the people want them to come in. That's how they got in. You gotta let the thief in your house. You gotta let him in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
So
telling you, one of the biggest tricks, Key. One of the biggest tricks right now. I'm telling you right now, man. I feel bad for some. I feel bad for the people, man. Everybody on the 3-eye atlas and thinking that the comment is coming. The comment, they panicking, Key. They're saying, oh, it's coming close. The residents, everybody's tripping. And we're all going to. I'm like, wow. They're good. They're really good. They're really good, man. Really good, Joe.
yeah, that whole 3 eye atlas thing, man. That's why I was saying, like, I think there's really significant for like the third eye, man. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't really think nothing coming. I think realities are emerging. We going from the third to the fifth dimension. And that's for them. They're going from the third to the fifth dimension. And I'm gonna explain why they're going from the third to the fifth dimension, because they can't grasp the concept of the fourth dimension. They're always gonna be missing the foundation. The fourth dimension is the foundation. That's where you come out to go within through the fourth dimension. So they're gonna go through a fifth dimension, emerges of the third dimension with the fifth dimension without going to the fourth dimension. And we are.
Mm.
So that's for them.
Yeah, I think it's something coded. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah.
it's got people on edge, and nobody. All these people that are worried about this comment don't have like a telescope. So how you see it? You can't see it for yourself. You just taking their word, hook, line, and center. So
Yeah, they've been saying that it's been doing some shit like I don't know, changing directions or I mean, no, well, slowing up and letting out some type of wings or something. I don't know. You know, they told us already that the aliens was gonna be some big black guys and shit. So that's kind of interesting.
I mean, how do you feel about talking about aliens, man? How do you feel about these eyes, man? And they eyes go from circular to slit.
Who I did it?
There's what's the guy's name on he does he's the business guy. I wrote his name down somewhere on these pieces of paper down here, but he's on CNBC, does the business, right? He's a fairly
Yeah.
young dude, and one eye is circular, and the other eye is slit, and
And
it's
you
like,
know, people be looking like that when they be high and shit, right? Like people be dilated. One of the people be dilated and the other one don't and shit sometimes.
I ain't never seen somebody have cat eyes when they high. I done seen some, you know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I done seen crackheads. I done seen, you know what I'm saying,
Damn.
meth heads, Fenny overdoses. You know what I mean? I've even
Yeah.
seen someone have a seizure, but not one their time have I ever seen one eye circle and the other eye slit. This is amazing.
Nah, you know, that be some spiritual shit though, you know, but you know, I don't know. I'm trying to really make a connection to where it's going, make sense. It be both of those. You know what I'm saying? People be like on shit too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think. The main people who having them type of problems, I'm talking about like their eyes changing and shit. Like they said, they on some type of drug, the people who not on drugs, they got other problems like the government shut down.
Uh, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The niggas who
Yeah,
yeah.
this our society, man. It's I think we're doing okay. You know, there's still a lot of dependency going on, but I think that's going to shift because they're going to do something else. Okay, the government and the whoever's in charge, they're going to do something else, and whatever they do, that's going to be like the final straw. That's the
I
straw
got
that's
a
going to break the
question for
camel's back.
you. So, do you think now that the government shut down, do you think a lot more women gonna be trying to get a BBL reduction? Because man,
Hey, look, man, the possibilities are high. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? They might as I don't know what women be thinking sometimes, and I'm not trying to know, you
they
know.
might be saying, "Listen, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get some money back for this ass. So let me."
Oh, you know what I heard? Look, y'all, look, you know what I heard too, Key? Look for all the women out there, you know what I'm saying? Here's the dark side of the BBLs. They said whenever they go to the bathroom, it really stank.
Nah, man, nah, stop. All of
No,
you
I'm not
girls.
playing. I'm not playing. I seen it. They were like, I seen two video clips, and it said that women with BBLs When they go to the bath, it stank, stank,
Nah,
stank,
I'm gonna
stinky
say
booty.
this. I don't care if you got a BBL or not. If you don't wash your ass, it's gonna stink when you go to the bathroom anyway.
Oh,
Look, yeah, yeah. You know, man. Yeah, man. It's been a good build, man. Shout out to everybody, man. We gonna get out of here.
yeah.
But man, salutes to everybody. Much love and respect. I am gonna come back and do those other bills. I've been a little bit busy, but I got a few more bills I'm gonna come do. I'm just gonna do them probably in the next couple of weeks or something. But I'll keep y'all posted, man. I'll throw something out there. But salutes to everybody. Much love, much respect, brother T Wriggles and my brother OG, man. Y'all could take time to close out, but take y'all time though, man. We ain't gotta
Oh
rush.
man, this is hey man. Look, it's another one, another one, another one. You know what I mean? You come in with great topics, and then I'll come help you out, bro, anytime you need, because I'm Dylon, Dylon, Dylon. I bring hot fire. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And salute to you again, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, salute, salute. Yeah, I don't know if my brother OG Philly.
Yeah, I'm here, brother. I'll close out. Just
Yeah.
pulling up at the crib, man. You know, everybody, excellent build, man. Appreciate you, Keith, for letting me up. Shout out to the chat, man. You know, the government is reopening, but they still ain't gonna do shit for the people, so they might as well stay closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Power to the motherfucking people. We gotta take back our power, man. Flat motherfucking power to the flat power family, man. Y'all have a
Yeah.
good night.
Hey, salute, OG.
Peace.
Hey man, you said some shit then, man. Like, they gonna open back up, but they still ain't gonna do shit, man.
You
Man, they
gonna do
took my
it for the
money
people.
and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm really like banging on them, but it is. We gonna play by the rules, but like I'm gonna point out the inconsistencies and the hypocrisy that come along with the propaganda that they preaching and that they putting down. I ain't gonna let them beat me on that. So, hey man, I appreciate y'all for this shit. Salute, much love and respect.
Salute, peace.
Hey, salutes to everybody, man. Much love and respect. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to my brother OG Philly. Shout out to my brother T Wriggles, man. Hey, we will be back soon, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe.